you stay in school, you'll be rich. Not true. And so I kept asking my poor dad, I said, well, how do I learn about money? He says, I don't know, because he's a professor. And, you know, professors are poor people.
Right.
But they teach kids. That's stupid, you know. So I said, why don't you ask your best friend's father? I said, who's that? He says, Mike. I said, why should I ask Mike, father? He's going to be a rich man. And I said, why is he going to be a rich man? So my poor dad said, Mike's father is an entrepreneur. And I said, so what are you? I'm only 10 years old, right? He says, I'm an employee. I said,
Right.
I said, so what's the difference between entrepreneur and employee? And my poor dad said, well, an entrepreneur has to know about money. My poor dad was a PhD, you know, very smart man. He graduated from university in 2 years. Very smart man, school principal, college professor, then the head of the whole state of Hawaii for education. But as you know, we don't teach anything about money at school. So when I was a little boy, I was about 9 or 10 years old, I asked my dad, I said, when can I learn about money? And my dad gave me that Christian thing about the love of money is the root of all evil. I said, why is it evil? You know, I didn't know. But he was just repeating what he had been taught. And the reason I kept asking is because I went to a rich kid's school. And the kids were white. And half of us were Asian, half were white. And the white kids were rich. You know, and so I'm 9 or 10 years old, asking my dad, I said, how come they're rich and we're not? But if you stay in school, you'll be rich. And I said, Dad, you stayed in school, you're still not rich. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lie told to our kids. So sometimes it's academic, you know, you stay in school, you'll be rich. Not true. And your parents tell you to go to school.
Yeah. So
And my rich dad said, what are you going to learn in school? About money. I mean, you know, you can learn to be a doctor or a lawyer, but you learn nothing about money. I said, yeah. And what about an employee like you? He says, I have a job. And then I started to hear it. Go to school, get a job. I'm going, school's lying to me. And I said, I don't want a job.
we know the bad ones. Go to school, get a job, all these things.
Well, it's not right or wrong. You see, most people should be employees.
Okay.
Because most people, it's easier to be an employee. Like when I flew for the Marine Corps in Vietnam, and my poor dad wanted me to become an airline pilot. He says, go fly for the airlines. And I said, no, I can do that. I could already fly.
Yeah.
Why would I fly for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
You know? He said, but you love flying. I said, yeah, but I want to fly for the rest of my life. I just wanted a bigger challenge. That's how the whole thing started. So when I was 10, I just started studying with my rich dad. And so I was 10 years old, ride my bicycle to his office. And I had to work for him for free. So he ran a hotel.
Right.
And I had to pick up rubbish and work, you know, doing odd jobs. And rich dad never paid me. He said, if I pay you, you think like an employee. But my dad works for money. He says, yeah, but that's why your dad's poor. He says, never work for this. This is what keeps people poor. This, the rupee, the peso, the yen, the yuan. He says, never work for this. So for me, it was right for me to become an entrepreneur because I was really interested in learning about money and business and economics and all this, but most employees aren't. So for most people who are employees, they should get a job, work hard, save money, pay your taxes and all that. But entrepreneurs don't pay taxes. We don't save money. We use debt as money. And everything's different. And I don't invest in the stock market. But I had to pay the price, which was get my own education, not the stuff they teach you in school. And so that's kind of where the whole thing started. But being 10 years old, I was more confused now. So I had to work for Rich Dad, and finally I started to understand things. Like I'd work for free. He'd play Monopoly with me. So I'm going, why am I playing Monopoly? He says, because you're learning to be rich. I said, I'm playing Monopoly, so you learn to be rich. And so I played Monopoly and got home. My poor dad said, what you been doing all day? You been studying? I said, no, I've been playing Monopoly. Oh, what a waste of time. Do your homework. If you don't do your homework, you don't get good grades, you won't get a good job.
Right.
So I'm going, I'm so confused. And then one day I asked my rich dad, I said, why am I playing Monopoly? He goes, see all those properties out there? That's my real green houses. I said, what? He says, those, I play Monopoly for real life. I go, do what? He said, I play Monopoly in real life. Because he never went to school either.
Right.
He played Monopoly.